Hello everybody, John here from the esports department, going over the two-game LPL slate for tonight. If I get slightly distracted midway through this, I apologize. I am playing a high-stakes poker tournament on my other screen because I didn't know when Fantasy Labs was going to get all this stuff fixed up. They have a real problem with two-game slates, and I'm talking, or two-day slates, and I'm talking to their guys about it to try to make sure it's a little bit more timely because I'm not able to get them done in the mornings when I would normally do them when they're not updating them until the afternoon. But I mean, this is a banger of a slate. I mean, the LPL has just been so crazy good, and all these teams are just so talented that really I'm not going to have a ton of information for you anyway, if I'm honest, because it really is kind of a feel thing in all these matchups. Looking at the first one, RNG, who's minus 195, they're 14-2 on the season, up against FPX, plus 155, 11-5 on the season. So statistically, this is one of the closer matchups you can come up with. 1960 to 1909 in advantage of FPX. 209 to 206 in gold differential. First Blood and First Turret both to FPX. Dragon percentage goes to RNG by 9%, but FPX gets the Heralds. And at 15 minutes, they're ahead by about 900 more gold. So that kind of plays in. If they're getting Heralds and RNG is getting Dragons, it makes sense that they'll be further ahead at 15 minutes. FPX's stats still feel like they should be muted. They are muted versus what they maybe should be, just given that the entire team has not been together for the entire split. They've gone back and forth in the junglers. They've had iterations that looked worse and looked better. RNG has pretty much looked good the whole season, so it feels like these stats are pretty accurate. Plus 155 for FPX just seems silly to me. FPX should be like pretty close to even money or even money in this matchup. I don't see any reason why RNG would be a minus 200 favorite to beat FPX here. Nuguri's been pretty activated lately. That could be a big advantage for FPX. The mid lane is fairly, like, Cryan should win lane in theory, but Doinby's better at helping the map. There should be still an advantage for RNG in the jungle, even with how well Tiana's been playing lately. Wei is just a monster. And then the bot lane honestly feels pretty even as well. So I don't see any reason why RNG should be such a big favorite. FPX feels like a good GPP play. Even in smaller field or single entry, it feels like FPX is a great play on this slate. On the other side, it's Top Esports at minus 150. They're 12-4 on the season, up against EDG plus 115. They went 13-3 in the regular season. We have almost an identical situation here. EDG, GPM-wise, Top Esports better by about 60. GDM-wise, they're better by about 50. EDG with a better First Blood, but Top Esports with a much better First Turret. EDG is the Dragon team, Top Esports is the Herald team, Top Esports is further ahead at 15 minutes because they're the Herald team. It's very similar to this other matchup with FPX being similar to EDG and Top Esports being similar, RNG being similar to EDG and Top Esports being more similar to FPX. I think both of the underdogs are live. For me, I think FPX is actually more likely to win, even though they're plus 155 and EDG is plus 115. I personally feel like FPX is actually pretty close to being a favorite or right around even money, and I think EDG at plus 115 or plus 125, somewhere in there, feels about right. This doesn't feel enough to me. It feels like maybe it should be more like plus 125. Oops, sorry, let me get these over here. And I do apologize for being in these two tournaments, guys. Like I said, I didn't really want to be doing stuff while I was doing this, but I just never know when this is going to happen. I don't want to waste the whole day just sitting around doing nothing, so I got myself started on a poker session. For me, yeah, I think EDG is the least likely team to win here. Personally, I feel like the ownership probably... Oh, man, the ownership on this slate is so hard. Are people going to put EDG last when they're only at plus 115? FPX is plus 155, but people are very high on them right now after the couple series they just finished winning. I think probably EDG is going to end up coming last. I think it's probably going to be Top Esports, RNG, FPX, EDG, with even some like random possibility that those two are switched. That feels likely to be what we're going to see here. For GPPs, I mean, play any combination you want, dude. I think even double underdogs, I think, is super viable and probably the kind of thing that I'll be playing on a slate like this. But it's just wide open for GPPs on this slate. If you're gonna play cash and you want to trust, the Vegas odds, then you would be going with Top Esports and RNG. I personally feel like this isn't a slate where I'm probably going to look to play heads-ups, partially because I just don't think that, especially RNG, I just don't think is this big of a favorite. So maybe what you could do in cash, if you wanted to try to get an edge and you believe in my reads, which may or may not be the case, is maybe to play the favorites, but lean towards playing 4 top esports. That way, if the other person is also playing RNG top esports, if top esports wins more often than RNG, then you're going to get an advantage out of that. So like you can play Knight. I assume top esports is cheaper. They are. So maybe you take a lineup like this. Maybe you switch top esports over to Royal Never Give Up and switch one of these other players over to top. So like maybe you switch Way to Karsa and then the team to Royal. And now you still have probably the combination that you're going to see from your opponents, team combination wise, but you lean towards who I think is the safer play actually in top esports. So maybe that's where you go with cash, something like this. I think this is probably, if I play any heads up, it'll probably be this, but I'm more likely to play winner take alls and play FPX because I just think FPX's win percentage is like pretty close to 50%. And if other people aren't willing to take that gamble and winner take alls, then you're getting very good value if they win 48% of the time and you're the only person in your winner take alls with them. So I think I probably will go that way, or just play this if I'm playing heads ups and try to take advantage of people playing 4 Royal, which I just think will work out. Like even if Royal wins, there's no guarantee that they're going to outscore top. It is more likely, I think, that they'll outscore top, just given the KPW and DPLs in these matchups. EDG, one of the lowest KPW DPL teams in the league, so it is more likely that if RNG wins, that they will outscore. But it's far from a guarantee. So even if both the teams win, you can win with the top esports centric lineup. And if top esports is the only one that wins, you're likely to beat anyone that played more RNG than you. So I think that's what I would do for this slate. It's hard for me to really give too much advice on these slates because all these teams are just so good and anybody could win. So coming in here and really being like, I definitely would avoid these guys or whatever, just can't happen when you're dealing with these top 4 LPL teams. So that'll be all for me today, guys. It's a bit of a short video, but as usual, hit me up on Twitter or in the Discord or anywhere like that if you have any questions about anything. And I will talk to you guys later. Good luck. Let's get some money tonight.